Welcome back to Listen Up. Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers faced each other for the second time in each of their careers this season, the Patriots coming out with the win. Jordan, is the GOAT debate finally over between Rodgers and Brady now?
I don't think the GOAT debate is over. I think Tom Brady's the greatest quarterback of all time. Obviously, he's a 3-time MVP, 5-time Super Bowl champion. But I think if you really take a look at it and you take a look at arm talent and you take a look at what Tom Brady's been surrounded with, obviously he's had Randy Moss, he's had Wes Welker, he's had Julian Edelman, he's had Rob Gronkowski, debatably the greatest tight end of all time, and obviously this genius coach in Bill Belichick, and we take a look at what Aaron Rodgers has had. Yeah, he's had nothing.
Yep.
So he's also a 3-time MVP who, according to a statistic last night that was presented by NBC on Sunday Night Football, in which they lost to the Vikings, unfortunately, for Mr. Rodgers, was that Aaron Rodgers over the course of his career averages 1 interception per 67 pass attempts. So basically, if he throws the ball for 35 times a game, 33 times a game, he throws less than 0.5 interceptions per game, which is just absolutely ridiculous. He's a 3-time MVP. He is doing everything he can. They have not given enough to this man. He's had a running back one time. Mm-hmm. That was Eddie Lacy. He went to the NFC Championship game, and then the next year Eddie Lacy decided to go on a strictly McDonald's diet during the offseason. He gained 50 pounds.
This year they have running backs, and they're not using them.
Aaron Jones and Jamal Williams are both very potent players. Aaron Jones has been an absolute stud, but Mike McCarthy doesn't want to hand him the ball for whatever reason. Devontae Adams is no joke. This kid Marquez Valdez-Scantling has been really performing. Mm-hmm. Randall Cobb's been injured. He's been in and out, underperforming. But I don't think the GOAT debate is over strictly because of the fact that Aaron Rodgers is the greatest quarterback in terms of talent that I have ever seen.
Right.
He is the most clutch player I have ever seen. I think he is the only quarterback in the NFL where if you were to move him and put him on any roster, he's an upgrade to their present quarterback, even with Drew Brees, even with Carson Wentz, even with Andrew Luck, even with Tom Brady. Like, there's no denying that he's more talented than Tom Brady, and that is why I don't think the GOAT debate is necessarily over. But I will say that Tom Brady, the 5-time Super Bowl champion. Let's not forget, Aaron Rodgers has won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
He has, and he's a 3-time MVP. And he just has a ridiculous touchdown-to-interception ratio, and he's on pace to break a lot of records. But is Tom Brady the GOAT? Yes. Is he the best I've ever seen? No, that belongs to Rodgers.
I don't think the GOAT debate's over. Do you know why?
Why?
Because it never started. Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers. Why is this even a comparison? You know why? Because Aaron Rodgers is the best quarterback we've ever watched. He's the best quarterback we've ever seen play. He's by far the most talented we've ever seen. But when you talk about the GOAT, the greatest of all time, you're talking about numbers, records, wins, championships, all of that. Who has all of that? Tom Brady. Aaron Rodgers, you're going to like this one. Aaron Rodgers is the Steph Curry of the NFL. Let me explain. He's probably the best guy you've ever watched play. He makes these insane throws, scrambles out of the pocket, throws 50-yard touchdown passes, you name it. Curry dribbles up the court, makes threes from the logo. I mean, it's insane. He's probably the best guy you've ever watched, probably the most talented you've ever seen. But is he the best to ever play? No. You compare Curry to Michael Jordan, who we can all agree is the GOAT in basketball. It's not even a comparison.
Well, I'm sure some of us can agree to that. Not saying me, but
sure.
There are millennials out here that think LeBron is...
Some millennials. But as much as I'd like to say Rodgers is the GOAT, because he's definitely the most talented quarterback, he's just not. And, I saw Colin Cowherd a few weeks ago compare him to guys like Big Ben or Drew Brees, and I think that's a more fair comparison for him.
Well, you watch Colin Cowherd.
I'm just saying. I saw it on Instagram. I don't follow him any of that. I'm just saying. I saw him compare him to Big Ben and Drew Brees, and I think that's a more fair comparison. Drew Brees only has 1 Super Bowl. Big Ben has 2. But Big Ben, you see him, he's not smashing records. He's not playing his best ball that he ever has. And you look at the GOAT debate, you're talking about the best in terms of numbers when you talk about the greatest of all time. And that's by far Tom Brady. So why are we even comparing Rodgers and Brady? Because Rodgers is the best we've ever watched. But in terms of numbers, it's no doubt Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback.
Tom Brady is the greatest of all time, but put the camera on me. I'd like to explain this in terms of talent for a second. Aaron Rodgers is here. Drew Brees is here. Tom Brady is here
in terms of talent.
And Peyton Manning is somewhere in between those two.
I agree. And you can make the argument all you want that Rodgers has had nothing his whole career with McCarthy and no run game and his defense.
No defense.
His defense has been lackluster his entire career. Correct. But you know what? And you could argue that Brady's a system quarterback and he wouldn't win without Belichick and all this stuff.
He's
which is true. It's 100% true. But the fact is, look at the numbers. Brady has 5 Super Bowls. No one in history has had 5 Super Bowls. He has 4 MVPs, 4 Super Bowl MVPs. Rodgers has 1 Super Bowl. And he's expected to carry that team to the playoffs every year and maybe push them for a Super Bowl run, and that's completely on the Packers. But if we're talking about the GOAT debate, which shouldn't exist at all between Brady and Rodgers, because I just don't think you can compare them. Brady is the GOAT.
That's fair.
No denying it.
Rodgers is the most talented, Brady's the greatest.
That's exactly how I feel.